Over 1 billion people over 60
Yeah.
and 46% have a disability. But everyone thinks accessibility is a ramp, a disabled friendly toilet. Wheelchair users are only 10 to 12% of the disabled population.
Yeah.
So the rest 90% no one is even looking or thinking about. Only one in the world till date. We mix people with various disabilities and non-disabled to travel together. Hey, I want to do rafting. 70-year-old auntie asked me with a spinal injury. And I'm like, okay, why not? People are still dependent on us. Am I really making a dent in the universe? How can we make it happen that the places, the destinations and experiences are accessible by design? A travel company is not needed. No one considers disability as a business. I do not want to be still the only one. It has to become a movement and a revolution.
How far are we from that vision? Very far. So today we are meeting Ms. Neha Arora, founder of Planetabled. Let's talk to her and understand her story and learn from that. Hi Neha.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming over.
My pleasure. Thank you for the invite.
What's your story?
Well, I think Neha's story started 42 years ago when I was born to parents with two different disabilities, and that has been the privilege of my life and also the most exciting part of my life. That's what led me here today.
Wow. So what are you building?
I am building Planetabled that makes tourism accessible and inclusive for people with all types of disabilities and the elderly.
Okay.
We are into travel design, considering all the interest and accessibility, diverse accessibility needs people have. We do training and consulting for the tourism and hospitality industry so that they can become accessible by design for everyone.
Before we move forward, I have these small requests from you. Request number 1. अगर आपको हमारे पॉडकास्ट पसंद आ रहे हैं और आप हमारे एफर्ट्स को अप्रिशिएट करते हैं तो द स्टार्टअप कैफे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर कीजिए। सब्सक्रिप्शन के साथ बेल आइकन भी दबाइए जिससे आपको लेटेस्ट वीडियोस नोटिफाई हो सकें। आपका हमसे जुड़ना हमें मोटिवेट करता है कि हम और भी इंस्पायरिंग स्टार्टअप फाउंडर्स और इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स को इस पॉडकास्ट में लेकर आएँ। रिक्वेस्ट नंबर 2, अगर आप किसी ऐसे इंसान को जानते हैं जिसके लिए पॉडकास्ट और इसका सब्जेक्ट यूजफुल हो सकता है तो इसका लिंक उसके साथ ज़रूर शेयर करें। हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव सिर्फ कंटेंट बनाना नहीं है। हमारा मिशन है कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप से इंस्पायर हों, दूसरों के एक्सपीरियंस से सीखें और अपनी जर्नी को बेहतर बना सकें। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर अटेंशन। अब देखते हैं आगे की कहानी। But your background is essentially IT and telecom, right? So how did you land up here?
Well, yes, I am a failed engineer. I have a degree, never used. I worked in IT and telecom for about 9 years. But then I think in those 9 years also, I have had side hustles. Later diagnosed as ADHD.
Okay, interesting.
So every year with the job, I was trying something else because the job was just not exciting enough.
Okay.
So, but then I, 1 year trying this, next year trying that, just for the fun sake of it. But then, so I essentially never traveled as a child, never went for a holiday. My parents, who are now in their 70s and 80s, never went for a holiday. Until a few years ago, because they are persons with disabilities. My mother is a wheelchair user.
Okay.
My dad is blind, and they got married like that.
Okay.
And now with age, my dad has hearing impairment and other age-related conditions as well. So when I started earning, I thought money was the problem and luxury travel will solve this issue. Only to realize that no, money is not the problem. The problem is inaccessibility at destinations.
Okay.
Or the societal stigmas that exist around that disabled people don't work or they don't need to travel. They should stay at home. And having been raised by two independent, fully independent disabled people who were both in government jobs, I mean, that was something I was not kind of aligned with mentally. So whenever we went, I got into arguments
Okay.
about accessibility, and one argument turned into a mob fight at a temple.
Oh,
The
I'm
tipping
very
point.
sorry to hear that. What happened exactly?
I mean, like
What was the
asking.
location?
It was in Kerala. Let's
Okay.
keep it that way. A very famous place.
Okay.
And so we were. That was our first long trip that I saved money, and we went and asking for special accommodation because the place is not accessible.
Yeah.
So the priest made it all about religion, and that's when things went out of hand.
Okay.
And that's when my parents said, like, हम कहीं नहीं जा रहा, तुम्हें जहाँ जाना है जाओ.
Oh.
And so then I started looking for solutions, not to find any. Also,
So there are no such solutions in India right now?
no, not even.
Are you
after
the
10.
only one who's solving it?
Yes. And this I'm talking 2009, 10, 11 kind of time. So पहले मुझे लगा 1-2 साल में ठीक हो जाएंगे, then we can start, again. But then they were very, like it was not a good scene at that time.
No, I can understand. Yeah.
So they, like as persons with disabilities in India, you get freaked out, you are more afraid than others. So that's when, I started looking for solutions. There are some solutions in other countries, but they were mostly focused on one single disability. This is a travel company for wheelchair users. This is a travel company for blind people. This is a company for deaf people. I'm like, here disability is deciding whom you travel with and when. And so there are two reasons. One, that did not work for my family. Second, that is not what inclusion really is. It is still, like caste system, we are segregating people based on what disability they have.
Correct.
So for me, it was like, okay, let me see if I can create one, a solution myself. But then I knew myself that I abandoned things. So I had to convince myself that if I start this, I will not, because just close it down one day, because it means creating hope in a lot of people that they can travel. So I convinced myself for 2-3 years, looked for data, not to find any. India still does not have any data. So I have sat at international airports overnight counting the disabled people coming out, or talking to concierge that how often people travel, or how long do they stay, and all of that. Built my own, just more convincing myself, and getting into the community more. What do they want? What is the challenges that they face? And one day, sitting in an office in Adobe, I felt like, if not
Time is
now,
up.
then when? Now it's the time. That was the day I resigned, and here we are, 10 years later.
10 years later. Huh? So where are we in that journey now? In last 10 years, where have we reached?
Including a few years of COVID. That's what it did to.
I think that was a big jolt. It's easy to guess, but still, I mean, it's a reasonable amount of time, right?
Yes, it is, and I wouldn't have been happier where we are today.
Okay.
I think today we operate globally, multiple destinations all over the world, with an office in Vienna as well.
Okay.
And we have travelers from all over the world traveling with us all over the world. You want to go to South America, you want to go to Japan, you want to go to India.
So somebody from South America wants to go to Japan can come to you?
Yes.
Okay. So you're Planetabled, not India-abled, right?
We are making the planet abled for everyone to travel. So this is one, and also we cater to every disability or access need that exists under the sun. That after 10 years, still no company in the world does. Not even in India.
But I'm deeply surprised. There's no one who does this. So there are like legacy players, the big ones, the Cox and Kings of the world, Thomas Cooks of the world. They don't have a vertical or a wing.
Cox and Kings did start couple of years after we started.
Okay.
Exactly replicated what we did.
Okay.
But then again, they do not exist anymore. In these last 10 years, there have been companies that have come, and there have been companies that have gone.
So why would that be? There's not enough market?
See, I think it is not an easy market to make it financially sustainable business. In the sense, there is a market, but just to give you some numbers, we are talking 15 to 20% of the population in the world who has a disability. Then we have over 1 billion people over 60, and 46% of them have a disability. And these people hold $13.1 trillion of annual disposable income.
Okay.
So it's a huge market. But everyone thinks accessibility is a ramp, a disabled-friendly toilet, wheelchair accessible toilet, let me be very specific. And that's what accessibility is.
So what is accessibility for you? What does it mean for you?
Accessibility, so like when we talk accessibility, it's not only wheelchair users. Wheelchair users are only 10 to 12% of the disabled population.
Yeah.
So the rest 90% no one is even looking or thinking about.
Maybe they don't know how to cater to them.
Yes. And
So
also
there's an awareness issue.
Yes.
There's an education issue.
Yes, a huge. So like especially in a country like India, we even tend to hide disabilities. We consider disability as death. We don't want to face it, or we don't want to acknowledge it. But there are so many, majority of the disabilities are actually hidden. Like I have ADHD. Can you say that I have a disability? No.
You count ADHD as a disability?
It is. It
Medically,
is neurodivergence.
Medically, is it counted like that?
Yes.
Okay.
And autism is also neurodiverse.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, like again, it depends where you are in the world and what is recognized as a disability. So, India has, according to the Indian Disability Act, which was the latest one that came into force in 17, we have 21 recognized disability.
Okay.
It covers the large aspect, but it still does not cover all of them. So, like if you go to the UK, diabetes or cancer, which actually impacts your mobility or daily life, is also a recognized disability. So, like we cannot say this is the parameter. Like after COVID, we have people struggling with long COVID, which has led them disabled. People who are running marathons cannot even walk for half an hour anymore. So that is a disabling condition, and that is a disability.
I have this sense of responsibility that I want to hire some disabled person. But do I know from any source that this is also a disability, and if I hire, then what is it that I have to do for them?
Yeah.
How do I make this place ready for someone who's differently abled?
Yeah.
So I think that education is totally lacking, isn't it?
It is. It is
And
definitely
in want
lacking.
of that, people don't really know what to take as an action, right?
Yeah. So I think it is changing a little bit. Like in schools, you have like good international schools, they have these child psychologists who are early identifying dyslexia, which is a learning disability.
Okay.
Yeah, and autism or ADHD that are being recognized earlier, so that necessary steps can be taken. So that you must have had anyone in your class who was naughty or lazy but always got good marks. That person is a classic case of having ADHD. Like we need to identify, we are getting there as a country. India is much further behind in recognizing them. So coming to your employment question, a segment who has been say ignored for a long time won't know that you are open or accessible to them until and unless you say we are ready to make accommodations for people with disabilities and they are open to be hired. Like people with disabilities are welcome to apply. You have to write it, because otherwise there is an assumption that it won't be accessible for me.
So accessibility needs to be very clearly
Yes,
defined.
and everyone
also, right?
has a different access need. So for example, you might say, okay, there is a wheelchair user, they would need this and this and this. But every wheelchair user is also different. Someone who is a paraplegic is on the wheelchair full time, cannot stand or a lot of things outside of the wheelchairs. But there are people who are ambulatory wheelchair users who can stand and walk a couple of steps. They both are wheelchair users, but they're different. If you look at blind people, not everyone is completely dark blind. Right? Everyone has some sort
partial,
of
some people will be partially blind.
It depends whether they have tunnel vision, or
color blindness.
But yes, so it depends what condition do they have. That all comes under visual impairment, and what accommodations do they need. So, like someone who is completely blind or low vision might need a voice software on their laptops. That is the only accommodation that they need to be a work environment being accessible for them,
Yeah.
or your company website being accessible for them, right? Or a deaf person might just be aligned to a job that does not require public communication, but is, a filing job or a back-end job, and they can perfectly work fine on that. So it is like for example, I'll give you a very good example of people with autism. People with autism are very good with processes, steps, like, set processes and defined rules. Software testing is where they shine. There is a company started by, I think it's Denmark. The father has a son with autism, and they started a company that only does software testing and hires only people with autism.
And it does fantastic.
Yeah. So you have to find that, what is the sweet spot, which is with every one of us. Not everyone is good at everything, but everyone is good at something.
Great. So let's zoom in back to the company that you're building, Planetabled. When you told your parents about it, what was their reaction?
उनका कहना था 2 में इतना काम हो जाता है, तुम इतने सारे लोगों का कैसे करोगी, तुम्हारा दिमाग खराब है.
Yeah, easy to guess. Yeah.
No, so I left my job and then I told them.
Okay. You built it in the shadows and then you went to them. कि तो
No,
बना दिया मैंने.
I built afterwards because
Okay.
because of the side hustles, I knew कि how I would do if I would do this. So it's like burning all bridges of going back, no plan B. So I resigned, and so I was into enterprise sales at Adobe, and my like team lead says, like, if you don't complete your quarter, you will lose a lot of money. I'm like, doesn't matter, just release me right now. But I'm glad I stayed. Like, I don't come from wealth, so I like whatever money came in, and it helped. But then it was like I resigned, and my parents, I don't think they showed their discomfort around it, but luckily they've never stopped me from doing, like, or forced me. They are like, ये पता नहीं क्या किया है, इतना इंटेलिजेंट है, कुछ भी कर सकती थी लाइफ में, अब पता नहीं क्या कर रही है. But I think over the time they realize, like, as an entrepreneur, I think it is important you know what you're doing and not listen to people around you, because you only know what you can do or cannot do, or how much are you willing to, go further to make it happen.
I think your purpose was very clear, right? And then when purpose is clear, then the vision itself pulls you. You don't have to push yourself.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But there must have been tough times building this very unique kind of company that you built, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I think as an entrepreneur, it still goes on.
Yeah.
But yes, I've been broke. I've faced challenges. But there is something, there's a delight that you get when people say, you gave me the best day of my life.
Yeah.
Or someone says, like, I never thought I could do this. And now you have, spoilt me for life by making me a travel addict. So that is what keeps you going. I mean, it took me a little while to even figure out the business model. In the sense, I came from a background where I was perhaps the least travel company owner with no connections to anyone in the travel industry. I did not know what pricing model would work. How do you do the pricing of travels at all? Or not even knew how to, figure out the logistics. It was everything learning on the job. Everything was hit and trial. This works, this doesn't work. That was how it has been. And people built Planetabled in the sense, because I wasn't traveled much. But people said, hey, I want to do rafting. And I'm like, okay, why not? So everything has been always with a why not. तब तक मैंने अपनी लाइफ में खुद कभी राफ्टिंग नहीं की थी. When a 70-year-old auntie asked me with a spinal injury,
okay,
she said, and she's been in a full-time wheelchair user since the age of 11. She said, नेहा मुझे राफ्टिंग करना है. मैंने कहा, okay, why not? मुझे 6 महीना लगा, 30 different rafting people saying,
No.
No. I was stationed in Rishikesh for a long time. कि नहीं करके ही जाएंगे. So then one operator agreed when I told him I have a challenge.
And what happened when she did the rafting and she came back to you?
She was like, like
Best day of my
amazing.
life.
Yeah, and because we did not do rafting, which was a subsidized experience, we did the whole thing that any non-disabled person does with extra safety measures. So we kind of created a safe rafting experience. So we had blind people in them. We had wheelchair users. My mother did rafting in that very trip.
Wow.
And she had high blood pressure before that. उसके बाद blood pressure कम हो गया था. So so that's what, like, someone said, as a blind person said मुझे skiing करना है. I'm like, okay, why not? So like I first try the experience myself, then I like, okay, this can be done, and then go ahead and do it.
So what is the scale that you have right now? How many such groups you take in a month? Or
I won't say
how many you've taken so far?
Few thousands of people. I won't remember
And you've
the
been
number
across
of
the globe?
Yes. And we have catered to every type of disability under the sun, whether it's people with dementia, people with double cancer, terminal cancer, and then people with autism going on a bachelor trip, and like people doing rafting or skiing or going to Japan or going to Europe, or doing wildlife safari in South Africa, or doing a tiger safari in India, in Ranthambore. Like, so all of these things, like, we are everywhere. And what I think we have started doing in the last few years, because I think COVID gave me a little bit time to think, that am I really making a dent in the universe? By taking people to places which are accessible, or making it temporarily accessible, and people are still dependent on us, and we can't cater to everyone everywhere. I mean, so how can we make it happen that the places, the destinations and experiences are accessible by design?
Yeah.
I would say I am gifted with that privilege of my birth, that I understand diverse disabilities and how they function together in a very unique way. So like we mix people with various disabilities and non-disabled to travel together.
Okay.
Only one in the world till date.
Okay.
So in one group you'll have a blind person, a deaf person, a person in a wheelchair, and non-disabled people together.
Okay. So Planetabled is essentially a travel company that travels with everyone.
Yes,
Not
inclusive.
necessarily only with people with disability.
Yes. And we also, like I was mentioning about, how do we make the destinations and experiences accessible
and
by
safer for them.
design? So what we have started doing is now we do training and consulting, whether it's other travel companies who want to learn how to design travel experiences for disabled people, giving them the training and resources that we have built over the years, or helping hotels become accessible by design, because in India, if you look at, only 4-star and above have a wheelchair accessible room.
Okay.
So again, it is expensive traveling with a disability everywhere, not
Easy to
just in
guess.
India.
Yeah.
So how can we reduce that cost by having more budget hotels being accessible for everyone? And not everyone can afford a travel company also. So if a museum, see, you live in Delhi, can you go to a national museum buying a 40-50 rupees ticket and have a local tour by yourselves, which is accessible and inclusive for you, whatever your disability might be. That is the goal. That is the level of mainstreaming accessibility we are looking at. Like in my lifetime, I want to achieve that accessibility and inclusion is mainstream, at least in the travel industry. And perhaps a travel company is not needed anymore.
How far are we from that vision? Very far. Okay, so since you've traveled globally and you've been doing this for a decade now, in that pyramid, which are the countries just sitting on the top? Countries with genuine empathy for this concern, and they've built systems and places around this thought. And then where is India vis-a-vis that country at the top?
So I think in terms of countries, it also depends upon um accessible for whom. Like I said,
Yeah, that opens up a Pandora box, because when you say disability, then it's far and wide, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And most people think it's wheelchair accessibility. So if you look at Singapore, amazingly wheelchair accessible, perfect. You go anywhere as a wheelchair user. But if you go as a blind person and you travel and explore, I struggled myself that in the sense, oh, how do I explain these things to my dad? Because everything is visual and behind a glass wall, and there is no accessibility for a blind person. So, this is where, things get very
Complicated.
yeah, it's a gray area. So, but still, I would say US, UK, and Australia. Why? Because the Americans with Disability Act has been around. This year in July, they'll complete, I think, not July, somewhere mid, they'll complete 36 years.
Okay.
So, and there, the legislation works. So, if you find a business that is not accessible, you can sue that business for millions.
Okay.
And the law works.
Okay.
Some of the law firms, that is their only business to
Okay.
fight, and you don't have to be disabled to sue them. So that makes it like either a company would do the bare minimum to meet the ADA requirements, Americans with Disability Act's requirement, or they'll park some money as a penalty to be paid if they don't want to be accessible. So that is why it's not empathy. I think it's more of the compliance that drives accessibility in the US, because everyone is trying to be legally compliant. But for example, in US, the airlines still break 29 wheelchairs every day of disabled flyers.
Okay.
So they are tracking. Yeah, तो हम track ही नहीं कर रहे, तो पता
So
नहीं.
where does India land in terms of
We are
empathy
very
as
far.
well as compliances, both?
I think India is somewhere, when we talk of human accessibility, that's also there. So we talk of accessibility as built environment mostly,
Yeah.
but it also includes digital accessibility, like your websites or online contents and everything, and your online social media accessibility as well.
Yeah.
And then you go into information accessibility and communication accessibility, and then there comes in human accessibility. So I think in India, the human accessibility aspect is much higher,
Okay.
because either we'll be totally insensitive, or we'll be like, मैं कर दूं क्या, मैं help कर दूं. I mean, we have that thing.
Yeah.
So if you'll ask someone for help or assistance, they will come and help you
Yeah.
without expecting anything in return. Because we do not have that independent living concept, or very high on
Social
dignity
structure supports this thought that
yeah.
you have to take care of each other.
Yes, especially disabled people. कि इनका तो हमें ख्याल रखना, ये अपने आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं. So that is where we fare well. But in terms of infrastructure, in terms of digital accessibility, we are very far behind.
So where does India fare in terms of compliances, which you mentioned in US is very tight?
So we also have a disability law, which is a very good law on paper. It is in comparison to the ADA, it is a good law, and there has been some updates also over the years, including chronic pain also as a condition, as a disabling condition. Yes.
Okay.
But then implementation is the challenge. So
Always with every law in India.
yeah. So
Implementation.
like the good thing about the disability law in India was they gave a timeline. That okay, 2017 के बाद whatever building gets built has to be accessible as per the National Building Code, and they updated the building code as well, which was good. So before that, the accessibility wasn't an extra. Now it was a mandate that whosoever is following the building code, they have to be accessible.
Okay.
And the older buildings built before 2017 have to be accessible by 2023.
Yeah.
We are sitting in 2026. How many buildings have you seen accessible? So we know where we are. I mean, sometimes even the government is the biggest defaulter in so many cases.
But this thing may work well going forward, because then you'll have newer buildings come up which will follow the stringent guidelines if government makes one. But when we talk about travel, let's say we talk about heritage. Now imagine India, what are the most well-traveled places? Let's think of Rajasthan. Now I just can't think of accessibility when you go to fort
No,
and
it
all.
is. Like if you compare to other parts of the country, Rajasthan is
Fares
actually
better?
fares better.
That's
No,
interesting.
because a lot of tourists come in. Like in the sense, I think I can say that because I know it a little deeply. So in India, the challenge is you should know where to look for and how to navigate the complex structures. On the face, it is not. So and it is expensive traveling in India.
Yeah.
So you will get a hotel room which is wheelchair accessible only 4-star and above. So that adds to the cost. They will have one room which is wheelchair accessible because that is in the tourism guidelines. So, and some of the museums would be accessible with the newer ones or which have been updated. I won't say all of them, but few of them. Then a lot of that kind of say trips and trip experiences that we do are actually local ones. Not like, if you go to Europe, you go to this museum and you are done. We are taking people to spice markets in Delhi or the Bapu Bazaar in Jaipur or a food tour, which is walking on the road. So there it makes you more flexibility in terms of what all you can experience as a country.
Yeah.
But then I would also say some heritage structures have surprised me,
Okay.
like Amer Fort.
Okay.
They have an alternative way which was built for the horses and palkis, not
Okay.
open to public, but that is wheelchair accessible.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
you get surprised like that.
Yeah, and you have to explore, right?
Yes, you have to go. So
do your homework deeply.
So every destination that we open, we go there or do the audit ourselves.
Yeah.
What is accessible for whom, and what all we can do to make it temporarily accessible for our people. Then train the guides
Yeah.
on these aspects. Train the drivers. Train the hotel staff.
So does that limit the number of places where people can visit with you?
Yes, a little bit in the sense, but in the sense, like, there might be some experience that a blind person can do, but a wheelchair user cannot do. So that gives us a lot more room to play, that, you have this whole bouquet of things, and some of the experiences can be done by some accessibility needs, some can be done by others, and some can be done by everyone. So you just have to play mix and match kind of this thing here. And there are people who have multiple disabilities. So then, which bucket you would put them in?
Yeah,
So-
interesting. So you, since this is a very specialized kind of work which not only requires skill, it also requires a certain mindset, right? So what is it that you've done with your team? How do you train them?
I would say I have struggled with things because of this. Exactly the reason that you said, because everyone thinks, oh, it's great social impact. Oh, it's travel. So perfect. It's a perfect combination. But then when they come in, like the amount of dirty work, on ground work that needs to be done in the background to make that happen, that's not easy.
Yeah.
So, and being bootstrapped, again, as much as I would want to have a senior leadership working, I cannot afford them as a bootstrap company.
Did you try to get funding, by the
Oh,
way?
yes.
Okay. So where are we in that journey?
So, again, इंडिया में हर कोई आपकी पीठ थपथपाता है, बेटा बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही हो, करती रहो. But no one considers disability as a business.
But it is a business, right?
Yes.
You just mentioned it's a huge market.
Yes, but again, people don't want to see that it's a
But
it's a
they
business.
will probably when you show them numbers.
No one even asks for that because that's where it ends. So a big reason for making my company in Europe was this. So there, like the Austrian Association for the Blind, which is a 90-year-old organization, they invited us, hey, make a company here, we'll support you.
Okay.
And right now I'm struggling. I have some kind of a funding coming from outside. I mean, The challenge of getting money in India is again, as much as I know, you know how challenging it is. Like, so it is a little bit challenging to move money across countries, especially when you're in travel. Someone is traveling from South America to Japan.
Yeah.
Then, how do you make the transfers, money transfers?
But then so many travel companies do it seamlessly every day, right?
Yeah, like
You can
who
probably
are big.
copy paste.
I am yet to get there.
You can look at their playbook and copy paste few things,
Yes,
won't you?
but that kind of infrastructure also requires money. That
Did
requires
you
investments.
try to speak to the biggies and figure out a way to engage with them and
Yes, yes,
solve
sir.
problems that you're
We
handling day to day?
regularly get, say, like the big companies who get inquiries. They do some bit of like this senior travel or wheelchair arrange karna kind of a travel. They do.
Okay.
I'm not saying they don't do anything at all, but they when they need any complex structure, they reach out to us. Hey, can you do this for us? I think more so the boutique luxury travel companies are finding this as an opportunity rather than the biggies.
Okay.
So there's this company in India run by a French lady, totally catering to the French market. And she got her whole team trained. Not one person, not two people, even the accountant, the team of 8 people, she had a whole day training for everyone because inclusion should be in the genes. And just in 2 months after, 2 or 3 months after the training, they did their first tour as well.
Wow.
So it's about how much, willing to learn, adapt, and collaborate. And so, when we did our 10th anniversary tour, we repeated the same first tour that we did 10 years ago, a local city tour. She joined in.
Okay.
And she wrote about it and on social media as well. So this is like, in travel industry, you need to have these allies who have the same vision, mission, and who are not there, that kind of, let me grab that business from them, but like who want to work collaboratively.
Yeah.
So like, a lot of complex the inquiries that come in, like someone with dementia or someone with colitis or celiac disease who might have trouble traveling, they reach out to us. They're like, okay, you do this, we can't do this. So there is a lot of that kind of business that also comes in.
Wow. Now, how do you get your clients? What is the way to reach Planetabled? Is it, how do you do your reach out? Do you run ads? Is it social media? Is it references?
It's all referral, word of mouth business.
Okay.
I think we don't even have a PR team to manage that.
No, you are PR's darling. I saw that you're there.
Yeah,
on
and that
YouTube
has been,
everywhere.
the universe has been kind. I would completely, not one award, not one publication has been paid. Not $1 ever. Like last year we got an award. They just found us. They researched and tracked us for a couple of years and sent an email one day that it was a To-Do Human Rights and Tourism Award, that you have been given this award and here is some money and you will be awarded in Berlin. I'm like, okay. So that is where, that is where the real acknowledgement lies, that you're doing something right. I think also a large part of word of mouth is also because I speak at a lot of international conferences, whether it's Global Sustainable Tourism Council, whether it's ITB Berlin, whether it's IATA. So I regularly speak there, and that's where the industry is there and people get to know about us. And been just, I would say, the universe has been kind. I would like to put it that way.
So, when you started 10 years back and today, where have you reached in your vision? Did you reach where you wanted to reach? How far are you? From both perspective, let's say from business perspective, as well as whatever impact or change you wanted to bring in the ecosystem, right? That's also one of the core objectives of your company.
Yeah, I think we could have done better. I'm not saying we are, both sides, we could have done better. As a company where we are today, I sometimes I feel, okay, there are so many entrepreneurs who started with me and they are way ahead than I am, and I'm still not, you know. But then one of my mentors, Sinead, she tells me, you are on your own journey. You are not just an entrepreneur with no responsibility. I'm also the primary caregiver for my parents. So like, and you are doing something really hard. You are not just
It's not
another
easy, yeah.
ed tech or fintech or,
Yeah.
you know, this requires like awareness across the board in the industry and sometimes even in the people that they can travel.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they think, oh, it's too difficult or daunting, and they're afraid to
Yeah.
take that leap. So I think, so she says that, you know, you're doing something really that has much more challenges than that, and you are on your own journey. So that
Yeah.
makes me feel a little better. But I still feel, you know, I could have done better. And in terms of industry, in 10 years, I think we have, in India, if I tell you, we have come further. And globally also. Now there are a lot more companies that have come up. Like some of the American companies have raised millions.
Yeah.
Of course, America is a different ball game when it comes to funding and businesses. So that environment has changed. That, yeah, it is a good business. There has millions being poured in. There is a lot of conversation about that,
Yeah.
and in India also. So, like in 2022, the Ministry of Tourism released some draft guidelines on accessible tourism. Before that, I had been doing a lot of sessions for their annual consultations where they get their ASI and State Tourism Board, and I was doing their sessions on how they can become accessible. And we submitted our review because the other document that was released was very academic. This was more practical.
Yeah.
Like, okay, airline do this, road transport do this, train or hotels, restaurants, food and beverage do this. And it was endorsed by 61 disability organizations across the country. So it was
Okay.
signed and endorsed. I haven't heard on both of them after that, despite many follow-ups. So that is not their priority at the moment. It's been like 4 years almost, and nothing has happened. And I did it completely pro bono. I've said no to 4 state tourism boards because they wanted me to work for free. I have a state MOU, whole state MOU, and I'm like, paisa? Well, you raise it from corporate funding. We don't have funding.
That's pretty stupid and lame.
So it is sad, but I hope. I mean, this MOU was a few years ago, so I think it depends upon the leadership and everything.
Yeah.
So,
But do you really feel things have changed in the last 10 years or so? Let's say
Yes.
post-COVID
I
in
think
your
yes.
industry?
Yeah, it has definitely changed for the better. But that's why one big reason I started doing training and consulting is because I saw a lot of companies coming and going. And I was like, I do not want to be still the only one, because then you cannot change the world. It has to become a movement and a revolution. I go and ask Ministry of Tourism, you do this because it is important. They won't listen to one company. But if 10 and 20 go, it makes it that, yeah, it is important. So then you kind of bring in that whole movement that everyone is asking for it, we need to do it. Because all of these 20 companies need accessibility. So that movement needs to come. And I see with the small boutique luxury companies that is happening, for sure. And in India and also in Europe, it is happening.
So, do you think there is an opportunity in this industry for someone who is looking at you and thinking that I also want to, be part of this industry and want to create something similar?
Yes, it is. It is a huge opportunity, untapped. Like we haven't even scratched the surface. But it is important that you do it right.
Yeah. And it needs a little different level of commitment. As you rightly mentioned, it's not fintech or edtech or something where suddenly you can build a $1 million
billion-dollar
company
unicorn,
and
yeah. It will take its own sweet time because we
Yeah.
are talking systematic change here. We are
Yeah.
talking policy change here. We
Yeah.
are the systems which haven't been accessible.
Yeah.
That it's like complete overhaul. So you need to have the patience, and also you need to do it right, because otherwise what happens is, I'm not saying in India people haven't tried before. Like people have been nice and they made their hotels accessible or invested in accessibility, but there was some gap. They were not able to reach out to the market, or they were never able to market themselves properly or tell the world that we are accessible. And then they realized, oh, it's not enough a market and there is no ROI. So they went off. So in our consulting, we kind of complete the whole loop for them, including, training, creating their internal leaders, so that we are not needed, because it's expensive. You don't need to be calling training again. You create your own accessibility leader inside the company, which would be great if it's a person with disability. Again, they can
Yeah.
drive the mission themselves internally. They can internally train the new hires.
Yeah.
And then you get onto that, then you will realize we help them reach out to the market, and even have now with a consulting, we give them an ROI calculator. If you spend this much in this much time, you will be able to, kind of get this much money out of it. So,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, everyone needs money on the table. And no business can work without returns.
Okay.
And so this is what we are trying to do, that, okay, do it right so that we all can change this world together.
If not Planetabled, what would Neha Arora be doing today? IT?
No.
Building some software?
No.
AI tools?
No.
Not at all?
AI tools to be like I can build now also. That's
Okay.
more of a tinkering thing. What is the need, you build it.
Yeah.
So a lot of my side hustles, I kind of built so many. I worked on those, those CMS systems that exist, Joomla, Drupal, WordPress.
You worked on all that?
All of that, just by tinkering. Software was never my jam, but I like tinkering with things. How to figure it out.
Do you think usage of technology can probably change the trajectory of your company?
100%.
Are you doing that?
I am trying to raise funds for that. Because technology is something, that would need hundreds of thousands of dollars at the moment. So what I want to build is something that makes it easier for people with disabilities to travel and have access to information without reaching out to us.
Yeah.
That is where, we are talking economies of scale. We are talking
That's
a
exactly
mass
what I was
adoption.
thinking when I asked you that question.
Exactly. So until and unless that happens,
Something like a Tinder that matches person with disability with the right location, right?
perfect. Yes, that's what it is. And also, like based on accessibility needs,
Yeah.
whatever you can do. But that again, it is not as making it financially viable. You
Yeah.
need to have enough destinations
Yeah.
and enough experiences and services that are accessible. Because you need to have a revenue model around it. Even
Yeah.
if you're charging, say, $10 per person, to have a 10 million revenue, you need to have 1 million users.
Yeah.
And for 1 million users, you need to have 10 million listings.
And also, I think in this industry, you need frequency of buying, right? That's what we do. So, for example, you go to Make My Trip and then you buy again because they keep targeting
Yeah.
you, keep telling you. You do that right now? You tend to. I'm sure people would come back to you stating
Yeah,
that you
so
gave me that great day of my life. I want to relive that again.
No, we have people who are like repeat customers, one destination to next. So that is why we opened a lot of more destinations, because someone who is coming from India, from US or UK or Australia might come to India once more, but then they need another destination to travel to.
What kind of customers you have more? People coming from abroad to India, or Indians going abroad, or it's all mixed?
It's just all mixed. So the reason why
The strongest market.
the reason why we survived in the early years was because of international customers coming to India.
Okay. Is it
Because-
still the case?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Because again, going by the geopolitical, social situation we have in
Yeah.
this country, and how much the Ministry of Tourism is actually promoting India globally.
Yeah.
if you know the budget, marketing budget.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not very promising. Like not many international travelers. We get less than 10 million international travelers as a country.
Has
Thailand,
it-
Vietnam get more.
Has it declined over the years?
Yes.
Post COVID?
Yeah. We haven't
Yeah.
reached pre-COVID levels, India. As I'm not talking disabled numbers.
No,
I'm
no,
talking
I know,
just as a
Regular,
travel
regular.
industry. Our international numbers are very bad. And we have so much potential as a country, so much diversity. There's no other destination which has so much diversity in one country. But then we don't market it like.
Yeah, I think that the Travel India brand has lost its sheen post COVID. I can see that. It's
Yeah,
easy to
and
see.
they like, I don't see they want they want like domestic travel to go like increase that, and outbound has increased.
People going from here abroad.
35 million people are going out of India every year.
Wow,
So like imagine not even 10 million coming in India.
interesting.
So, and anyways, traveling in India, because of the reasons we discussed, has become expensive. So, someone thinks, "Arey, if I'm spending that much, let me go to Thailand or Vietnam and have a stamp on my passport instead of going to Goa and deal with the complexities of,
Yeah.
the transport and everything there."
I think it's cheaper to go to Thailand than to go to Goa today.
Yes.
It is, right? And it'll be more fun if you go to Thailand. One destination on your personal bucket list.
My personal
You've been dreaming of going there.
Antarctica.
Antarctica. Oh, that's something.
Yeah. That is something. I mean, I think very few people reach
Yeah.
there. One, it is expensive.
You've seen Northern Lights?
Not yet.
I think
But
keep
we
that
are,
in the bucket list.
yeah,
as well.
it is for this year because we are opening Norway for the Northern Lights,
Okay.
Tromsø specifically. So,
One thing every founder should learn about inclusion
make your products and services accessible and inclusive by design.
from the whiteboard itself
Yes,
when you're designing.
yes, because then it won't cost you a penny more. And you'll be able to target a much larger audience because if you include families and friends of disabled people, that is 25% of the population. So when you are making it accessible by design, you are one, catering to that 25% as well. Secondly, you are making your product better. Because a lot of those solutions or features that you use in an everyday life are actually accessibility solutions. The spectacles that you are using is an assistive device,
Yeah.
right? The keyboard on your laptop
Yeah.
is a successor to the typewriter, and the typewriter was invented for the blind. It was not invented like now we cannot imagine a life without a keyboard.
Yeah.
Alexa, the technology was invented for people with low mobility to control environments around them.
Yeah.
Automatic doors were invented for people in wheelchairs so that they can access the place. Your electric toothbrush was invented for people with low mobility, hand mobility, so that they could brush themselves. Your pinch in and pinch out feature on your phone was invented for people with low vision. Texting was invented for deaf people. We talk more on text than talking on the phone now. So imagine when mainstreaming of assistive technology or accessibility happens, it benefits everyone.
Yeah, it does.
If there is a ramp, it's not only used by a wheelchair user, it's used by parents with children in prams, a pregnant woman, people with heavy luggage, or older people. Everyone benefits from it.
Yeah.
So that is why it is important. If you're building something, a product, service, software solution, a physical solution, a service, make it inclusive by design, and you can come and thank me later.
You read books?
Yes.
One book that you recommend?
I would say to start with, as an easy read, is A Reason I Jump. This is written by a 13-year-old autistic boy.
Okay.
So everyone thinks that, people with autism do not want to interact or are antisocial or do not make eye contact. So it means they are not interested. This is written by a 13-year-old autistic boy. Is Japanese and it's been translated into English. And it talks about the feelings what the child is going through. That hey, I'm not antisocial. I'm just social in a different way.
Yeah.
So the way I communicate is a little different from what you would think of. Your perception of, say, a normal person. What is normal?
Yeah.
I am not your
Typical
ideal,
normal person.
typical, yeah. So, I have feelings like you. I want to enjoy like you. I want to hang out like you. But I perhaps am not able to communicate in the same way you expect me to.
What is normal anyway? It's everybody's
सबका अपना
definition.
normal होता है. I
Yeah.
think this movie that came in,
Tare Zameen Pe?
Sitare Zameen Pe,
Yeah.
the second one.
Yeah.
So the first one was on dyslexia.
Yeah.
The second one is on people with developmental disabilities.
You liked it?
Oh yeah, I loved it. I think the message to take it is, I mean, it could have been, it's also a copy of another Hollywood picture movie. But then again, it gives a very simple message that सबका अपना normal होता है.
Yeah.
So who are we to define कि किसका
Exactly.
normal क्या है?
Yeah.
And how do they experience the world or navigate the world? How do they study or how do they work in their workplace or how do they enjoy? Is totally different for all of us. Perhaps the way I work or you work or the way I enjoy things or you enjoy things are also different.
I agree. It's high time we put a prefix to it. My normal. This is my normal. This is
Yes,
not normal.
exactly.
Yeah.
And we should be, open to accepting others the way they are instead
Precisely.
of putting them into this, like, I'm very much against like this current education school system that we have where it thinks this is the only way that you learn or this is the get good marks. You become just employable.
Yeah.
You do not innovate or learn. You don't learn to learn or
Precisely.
innovate or be creative.
One advice that you would like to give to startup enthusiasts, which is our core audience, or startup founders, what would you like to tell them? One advice that you want to give them?
I think look at what is your why. Why are you doing it?
Start with why.
Yes. So why, and also don't find a solution and build a problem for it. See a problem around you and
Yeah.
solve it. And also look at, are you the best person to solve it? Because sometimes, like, all of my side hustles, at some point I realized I'm not the person to be doing this. I had a chain of tea cafes now in 2011, and Chai Point did not exist that time. And now I see, like, very happy going to those places because they did it right. I was not the right person to do it. And now for Planetabled, I think I'm the best person to do it in the world. And I'm not being boastful about it. It's just a privilege of my birth. I understand accessibility in ways. And I've tried finding people like me. That someone who was born to parents with disabilities, different disabilities, and lived with it in the complex structures, I haven't found any at my age now, because marriages of disabled people are less in comparison.
Yeah.
Then again, they are not cross disability marriages. Third, they are never, they do not have not existed perhaps as a nuclear family. There was no family support or no wealth to come back to. So my parents started from a one-room rented house with a shared toilet. That is where my parents started, and then built themselves up, raised me and my sister by themselves completely. Like, I used to go after my school to my dad's office because there was no one at home. So that way, I think that makes me the best person to make it happen, and it also puts me a lot of responsibility that if you're blessed with some skill or something that you know better, you should try and change the world on that.
I think you found your ikigai.
Yes, that's the word
Right?
for it.
Such a pleasure.
Same here.
Thank you,
Thank
Neha.
you. Thank you
So
for
that
the
was Neha Arora,
conversation.
who's building Planetabled, a fantastic company. And I would see you again in the next episode. Thank you so much.